All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do a quick update. There's a little bit of a crash going on with Bitcoin. It's down significantly since the close yesterday. I want to take a look at the Bitcoin miner big board because they are being affected dramatically by this. In addition to that, I want to go to the core of what's going on, which really has almost nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is suffering as a byproduct of really a little bit of an argument or a battle, if you will, between two billionaires inside the cryptocurrency space. So in the meantime, the entire cryptocurrency space is suffering. So let me explain to you what's going on and we'll see how this thing shakes out. So the key players in this are CZ, who's the owner of Binance, and Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF, who's the owner of FTX and Alameda. FTX has its own coin, FTT, and that is really the crux of the problem. So I want to show you what happened. This started with a statement from CZ 2 days ago. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this article. FTX token price risks 30% plunge. Well, guess what? That's already happened, so we'll go take a look at that in a few minutes. Alameda Research reportedly obtained $2.2 billion worth of loans using the FTT token as collateral, a token created by cryptocurrency exchange FTX. So that's their own token. They hold a lot of that token on their balance sheet. They have used that token as collateral to borrow money. So if there's a dramatic impact to that token, may potentially run into a problem where they become illiquid and they turn into a situation like Voyager or Celsius or Arrow. So that would actually be worse than all of those because these guys are bigger than any one of those companies. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried has put out a series of tweets letting everybody know he's not concerned. They're not illiquid, but obviously, it's too soon to have the answer to those questions. And while it's good that he's putting those tweets out, they can't just be taken at face value. We have to see how this plays out. Okay, so this article goes on to say the bearish technical setup came as Changpeng, or CZ, the CEO of crypto exchange Binance, said his company would liquidate its entire FTT holdings in the coming months on fears that the token might collapse in the same manner as Terra Luna in May of 2021. So if you remember, FTT is the token that FTX created, and that is a massive part of their balance sheet, and they've borrowed $2 billion against it. So here you have CZ at Binance saying he's looking at liquidating his position. Well, obviously, that is going to do damage to that token. Okay, then he's quoted as saying, liquidating our FTT is just post-exit risk management learning from Luna. We won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. That's from CZ. So I don't know. Obviously, clearly, there's something going on behind the scenes there. CZ does not like how Sam Bankman-Fried is handling his business, essentially, and potentially relating to other tokens. So there's some animosity that's obvious in this text. But the problem is Binance has a massive portion of FTT. So if they were to liquidate their entire portion of FTT, it could be a systemic risk to that token. And if that token fails because FTX has borrowed $2 billion against it, it could be a systemic risk to them as well. Okay, raising sell-off risks, the announcement followed a large transfer of roughly 23 million FTT tokens worth $530 million to Binance, which CZ confirmed was a part earmarked for liquidation. So he's saying that's a part of the amount they have earmarked for liquidation. That is a considerable, that's about 25% of their market cap right now. So he's saying there's even more than that they're looking to liquidate. So I don't know if this is just trying to take out the competition or if there's something else behind the scenes. But what I will say, Binance is coming directly after FTX, and that is causing shockwaves. Because again, these are the two of the biggest players. Binance is the biggest player in the space. FTX is amongst the biggest players. They were crucial in the last round when a lot of these companies became illiquid. FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried stepped in and backstopped a lot of these situations. So he did help in that scenario. So who will backstop him? And the answer probably is there's nobody out there that can do that if Binance continues this assault. Now, what we don't know is, does that mean that FTX is in trouble? Are they going to have a liquidity problem, or can they withstand this? If their balance sheet is strong enough, they can withstand this attack and move forward. And that's what Sam Bankman-Fried is trying to tell everybody. We can handle this if it happens. But in the meantime, obviously in the short term, what this is doing is creating massive uncertainty. And what does the market hate? Uncertainty. So there's been a panic, knee-jerk reaction to this. And I'm going to go to the cryptocurrency board and just show you this has hit every single one of the top cryptocurrencies in the last 24 hours. Okay, so this is cryptocurrency pricing by market cap. This is on, I happen to be on CoinGecko. So if we look at this second column, this is what's happened in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin's down 6.5%. So that sounds bad. Ethereum's down 9.2%. Then we have a stable coin, and then we have BNB, which is Binance's coin. That is the least affected out of everything. They're down 2.7%. Then we have another stable coin and another stable coin. Then we've got XRP down 8%, Cardano down 4.5%. We've got Dogecoin down 15%. Other than stable coins, this has been a 10 or 15% move to the downside. The only ones that really haven't had as big of an impact, Binance, who basically started this whole thing, is only down 2.7%. Bitcoin's doing the second best, but down 6.5% in 24 hours is a gigantic move for Bitcoin. Now, fortunately, when we look at the chart, you're going to see they're still within their trading range. So this isn't necessarily as bad as it looks, but we got to dig into it. As usual, it's this uncertainty that's causing a mass panic sell-off effect across the board, right? Because actually Bitcoin itself and Ethereum have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. But situations like this drag the entire market down. So if we look at FTX's token, FTT, this is the one that Binance said they were going to liquidate. You're going to see they're down 36.6% today. This is an absolute crash for this. Their market cap now just dipped under $2 billion. So this was significantly higher. There's a risk that this turns into a token that starts to approach zero, and that's what we want to avoid. So can Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda and FTX backstop this to the point where they can stop the bleeding, or is this just going to cascade down into some kind of death spiral? And if it does do that, is that going to cause FTX to become illiquid, or do they have the liquidity beyond this to stay open and stay healthy? So that's what's at stake in the very, very short term. I do think we're going to get a lot of answers to a lot of these questions in a short period of time, but it could be 24 or 48 hours. We hope it does not drag on longer than that because you can see the effect it's having on the overall market. So I'm going to take a quick look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. So you can see just even as I've been doing this video, we've had two big 15-minute candles to the upside, but all that does is get us back to where we were, in the middle of the night last night. Really, as always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the market closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was around $20,800. Just about an hour ago, it got down to somewhere around $19,200. That was a 7.5% move to the downside since the market closed yesterday. Now you'll see there's been a big recovery here in the last few minutes, but Bitcoin is still down almost 5% on the day. What would be crucial, so this is why I want to go to the chart here. There's several points of support. Is Bitcoin going to gravitate back up to this critical line of support? This is a 4-year long-term line of support. It's just under $20,000. If Bitcoin can make its way back above this, then this, in my opinion, that will be the best case scenario. That will have minimized the damage to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will be, when we look at a larger time frame, well within its trading range, and that won't really be a big deal. Also, you can see we came very close to testing this green line, which is some very strong support at around 19,200. We did not quite get there, but we came close to testing that. So that would be the next level of support I would hope to find with Bitcoin. So if it can't catch itself here, and in real time you're seeing it's actually crossing above this pink line, which is just around $19,890. So we're almost at $20,000 right now as we speak. So way too soon to tell. Very volatile day, but that's the number one case scenario. We set up and create this as a line of support, and essentially we just kind of flashed below this overnight last night, or we need to set this up as a line of support. So the next line to the downside that I would be looking at, and I'm hopeful we don't get anywhere near this, it looks to me like we've started to find some support at 19,200. We stand a chance at finding support just under 20,000, but if that doesn't happen, there's a line at about 18,500. That would be a critical line of support to hold. If we did not hold that line of support, then I would be worried that we're going to go revisit our lows from this summer. So we're a long way from any of that happening. We could see a complete reversal in all of this. So I guess that's why I'm telling you I'm sitting on the sidelines today. There's massive movement. A lot of the Bitcoin miners are down dramatically. We'll take a look at the big board right now. Okay, so you're going to see, had I done this about 15 minutes ago, this would have been even much more dramatic. There's been a nice recovery, but still, this is a dramatically red board for the Bitcoin miners. Bitfarms is down 6.7%, HUT's down 9%, Hive's down about 5%, CleanSpark's down about 5%, Riot's down about 5%, Marathon's down 3.8%. I will tell you, Riot and Marathon were down more like 10 or 11% just a half an hour ago, so there's been a massive turnaround already. So we may have already seen this bottom out and be on the recovery. Again, I sat on the sidelines on days like this with massive volatility and no clarity whatsoever. I want to wait and see what happens. You know, I don't know if we were going to break for another leg down. To me, that then would have been my buying opportunity. Again, this is not financial advice. You guys need to decide when you want to buy or sell any of these stocks. But you can see even now, after a gigantic recovery from most of these stocks, we're still down anywhere 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%. Almost across the board. So we will see where the day ends. I'm just going to finish up on the 15-minute time frame, and you'll see this 15-minute candle we're in right now for Bitcoin is a gigantic move to the upside. So this is the third green 15-minute candle in a row. This is a big push to the upside. The Bitcoin miners have rallied massively off of their lows from the day earlier. So we'll see. Let's hope this continues and turns around. You know, it would be no surprise to see this entire loss erased. That's how volatile Bitcoin can be. But I wanted to let everybody know exactly why Bitcoin was falling, because it's really not a Bitcoin thing. So Bitcoin may be able to separate itself from this situation and move forward and remain healthy in any instance. You know, if we look on the one-day time frame, you'll see we're way off of our lows today on this red candle. And really, I don't think we've moved out of our upward momentum. If we go down and we can't hold this pink line and or we can't hold this green line, then I would say we've broken out of our pattern. But at the moment, we are right on the brink. So we're going to have to see what happens. So I just wanted to put this on everybody's radar, because really Bitcoin's bouncing all around like crazy. The Bitcoin miners are going crazy, and it has very little to do with Bitcoin or the Bitcoin miners. So we'll see if this situation corrects itself. I will definitely check in either at the end of the day today or again tomorrow morning to see where all of this has gone. So thanks so much for watching. Good luck. If you made it this far, please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.